Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and this week, me and Susan, or Susan and myself, which way you want to say it, are sitting down to discuss a 1975 movie um, based on true events
Yeah.
of an incident what happened in 1937. Um, we are discussing the Robert Wise movie, The Hindenburg. Um, as I say, it's based on true events, but I would take everything what's in this movie with a pinch of salt. Um, the characters were real characters, but the events inside the airship is a bit dubious in the movie. But it's based on a book. All I've got to say is, back then they didn't really know what happened to the Hindenburg. But in the past few years now, science has sort of come up with the explanation of the, as in the movie, the St Elmo's fire charging up the skin of the airship, and it was just bad timing that it there was a spark. And but this movie doesn't really, well, it does say that at the end of it, there's no real understanding what happened, but this is what they're saying in their mind what happened. So, Susan, the Hindenburg. Have you seen this one before?
I've never seen it before,
Oh,
and the only real knowledge I had about the Hindenburg actually here's me showing just how unread I am about that is that whole thing that happened in the Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I mean, literally, I had no idea. What went on in the Hindenburg. I just think that it was um at first I kind of was like, was this an urban legend or something? But it really was something that happened in New Jersey after a flight over the Atlantic, and apparently they had experienced some sort of um, electric shocks and uh, lightning. They'd been struck by lightning a couple times. It must have been really hard not to be struck by lightning since the entire outside canvas aeronautical canvas on the exterior of the ship was soaked in something that had aluminum in it. So it was all metallic. So on some level it would have been. And the other thing is after they after they crossed the Atlantic, this was the first time that they had the ropes all the way connected to the ground. I mean, they had let out some ballast, which was the water. They were using water as ballast, and when they did that in the movie, nothing happened. But that was also a time when, due to the slightly um, more uh, conductive of water, but that was also before the Atlantic crossing. So I mean, like there was a couple things, and George C. Scott, man, he's a good actor. I was like enjoying that character. He had to he showed that he was a Nazi that was conflicted, and that was great. And then he was trying to woo the Countess, played by Anne Bancroft, so well. Anne Bancroft is, she's amazing. And then there was William Atherton as Borth, and that was really great. He was the saboteur. In the documentaries that I watched about the Hindenburg after I watched the movie, it was all about these possibilities,
Mhm.
who they all thought was like responsible, and they all wanted to pin it on this one guy, uh, played by Robert Clary, named Joseph Spa. They, because of his anti-Nazi sentiments and his performances and things like that, they thought sure he'd be able to climb up the inside structure because he was a, sort of did stunts in his act. So they thought that maybe he'd done it, but he was just a showman, and but there was also, I mean, the cast was great. I mean, there was Renee Auberjonois and of course Catherine Hellman. I love her so much. She's so great. And Charles Dunning. And then there's some more people I'll leave for Lee to tell you who they are because um, there's plenty of scenery being munched in this movie. So by all means, Lee, onward. Tell us what, and upward, onward and upward, like
Well, yeah,
those zeppelins.
yeah, you mentioned George C. Scott and all that lot, and but there was Roy Thinnes in this as well. Gig Young, Burgess Meredith. Um, who's his name now? What's his name? Renee. Uh,
Arizona.
that's the one as well. Those two playing a pair of con men.
Oh
Um,
my gosh, that was so great.
I mean, the way their scenes in the movie, it wasn't much, but to create the Hindenburg, the inside, when you go into all the workings of it, great, just the metal framework,
Yeah, that
and
was amazing.
then when you say, oh yeah, don't go that you fall there, you'd go through that straight into the ocean. So it's just fabric. I mean, I don't think you'd have got me up in one of those airships because it just seemed quite, you know,
Well, they used to make all aircraft out of fabric.
yeah, but this was
I
one big.
mean, all of the single engine aircraft and the dual engine aircraft and the biplanes like Baron Richthofen or whatever, and all but biplanes and triplanes. Those are all made out of aeronautical canvas. It was
Mm,
all. It was anyway.
but it was just to me a bit. Well, a big balloon was that's what it was. But with to me, it just looked unsafe. Just the metal framework, and you're thinking, take away the fabric. That's all it is, and
Mm-hmm.
the gas balloons inside. But yeah, as you said, the cast was brilliant in this. They're putting using the rail passengers. What was on the Hindenburg? There's a few names what have been changed, or there's a couple of people merged into one sort of character.
Yeah,
Like George C. Scott's character is based on another person. Um,
yeah.
but I mean, I don't know if you noticed, they used the original film of the Hindenburg being
They
destroyed,
did, and that's
uh,
when they switched to black and white, right?
which black and white to match the film. Yeah,
Yeah.
which was really it got to you.
Mm-hmm.
It pulled on your heartstrings, and you just pull. You're thinking, "Wow, I'm watching some real historical film here of a disaster." I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about say like the Titanic. We haven't got any film of that. We haven't got anything like of that, but we have got the Hindenburg disaster on film, going up in flames, and the reporter on his microphone describing what's going on. The way
Is he
that,
the first? Is he
yeah,
the first one who says ever, "Oh, the humanity"?
yeah.
That was
I mean, you could hear he was, well, bursting into tears when he was,
weeping.
yeah. How many was it? How many? There was it 97 passengers altogether or something like that?
Hmm.
60 odd survived.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's just. I mean, for a movie that long, because it was a story all the way up to then, and in that short space of time at the end of the movie, because they went with the theory of the bomb theory, didn't they?
Yeah,
Um, and and you wasn't expecting it to happen. It just boom, you know, and that's by George C. Scott. Um, because him being the leading actor, you wouldn't expect him to. He was gone. Um,
yeah.
and sort of the bad guy sort of survived the Vogel.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it was a good storytelling. It was story building. Get to know these characters. As you say, he wasn't a he was from the Luftwaffe, wasn't he? The George C. Scott
Uh huh.
character. He
Uh huh.
he was, as you said, he was it, two minds of the right and wrongs of the Nazi Party. Um,
Yeah, and he was used to Air Force and the Air Force and air travel and everything being under control of one particular group, but then there was all these Gestapo that kept
yeah,
interfering in his work,
mm,
and that
it,
really got to him.
yeah. Um,
And it
but I
really
say,
it almost interfered with like the Countess and all of her life.
I mean, for him to let the guy with the bomb say, right,
So,
I want to explode it, and he just sort of said, right, I'll give you the time of 7:30. Everybody should be off by then.
mhm,
But there wasn't expecting the delay with the weather.
right.
Um, yeah, it was. I mean, I always remember watching this. I've seen this movie several times. It's been on the TV quite a few times now in the past few years, and I always used to
Oh,
remember sitting watching it. And say, as soon as that bomb exploded, I was aghast
hmm.
because they say it goes to black and white using the real footage interwoven with the scenes they've shot with all the other the actors escaping
Hmm.
and not escaping. Um,
The character that I was worried the most about, like escaping, was the one who had the dog. And in the documentary about the in the documentary about the disaster, they that he was the other one, and his name was Sprell or something like that. He's not. His character must have been morphed into
more,
the family, like combined with one of the family,
yeah.
because it was the guy with the family who had the dog,
Well,
and Sprell had bought a German Shepherd, but they were bringing a Dalmatian. Like that was just the difference there.
well, in real life, there was two dogs on board. Um, not
There
one,
were.
but there was two dogs. Yeah, there was. Yeah, and the dogs didn't survive.
Yeah,
So
so, oh.
But according to this movie, that the dog did survive because the picture of it came up at the end. Um, I suppose you have to let the animals survive, don't
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it is a good thriller uh, based on true events thing, and it does for me. It taught me about the because I didn't really know about the Hindenburg when I was growing up. You're not taught these sort of things at school, but
Right.
this is a good history. It's a Hollywood history lesson, shall we say? But
Yeah.
then
And the go ahead.
but but as you do watch it, and you think, "Wow, that's a great." I'm going to have to look into that. And you look into it with other documentaries and stuff, or read about it, and you go more and more into it. You find out the real factual happenings and stuff like that, and you think, "All right, so the Hollywood has twisted it here and twisted it there, but they've kept sort of it to the sort of storyline, but they've just tweaked it here and tweaked it there." Um, but yeah, if a movie can make you go back and discover historical events, it's done its trick. As you,
Yeah,
as you said, you
the
watched Top
challenge
Gun.
the challenge was they was you actually cared for these characters more than you cared for the folks who were on the actual Hindenburg because the storytelling was so rich. That's
Yeah,
what I think. I mean, even you know you could see that this was that his he was able to use real people in in a horrible way, as well as he was able to use people in a musical way in Sound of Music. Robert Wise is just like got to be one of the best directors ever. You know, he did. I mean, yes, he makes Star Trek One the slowest Star Trek ever, but this one isn't a lot of speed.
no, it's not. It's as you say, it's storytelling. It's making you get to know these characters
Mhm.
because the disaster is in the last 10 minutes of the movie,
Yeah,
and the movie's what is it? It's
two
just
hours
over
14 minutes.
just over 2 hours long, say. So it, you are character building. You are letting the audience get to know these people and feel for these people, even if most of them are Nazis.
Yeah,
But like I say, you couldn't change that because it's a true actual event.
right.
Um, and I think the Hindenburg was after the disaster. I think this was the start of the decline of the airship and with the safety.
Yeah, I mean, like
Um,
they didn't renew their relationship with the Goodyear.
yeah,
Goodyear in the United States had a bunch of dirigibles, a bunch of Zeppelin made dirigibles planned, and
yeah,
after the disaster in New Jersey, that just stopped. But they kept they keep building like Goodyear company builds a new blimp, a new dirigible for our sporting events all the
mm.
time.
I mean,
But I mean, they aren't like I don't think they're manned anymore. I don't know if they are.
mm, it's it's. I mean, they must have thought these airships were going to be the transport of the future. I mean, they were successful. I mean, it lasted quite a few years, but they must have
Yeah,
thought this is going to be the travel of the future because buildings were made and built, tall buildings with uh, what do you call it, walkways to get on and off of airships. I think is it the Empire State Building has got one?
I don't know, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like to walk down a gangplank from an airship onto the top of the Empire State Building and nothing in between.
I know, right?
Be a
Oh
bit
my
daunting.
gosh.
But yeah, I'm positive there was a few high buildings built like that with for airships to dock. So yeah, this was the made in the era of sort of disaster movies. The 1970s was full of them.
Hmm.
We don't really
Yeah.
get disaster movies these days. Um, I don't know if that's because they don't want to scare or offend people or whatever, but the 70s was the big time of disaster movies, and this is what for me is one what does stand out.
Hmm.
Um, good, say a good ensemble cast. Say some names are more well known than others. As you mentioned, Anne Bancroft, she was an amazing actress. You know, sorely missed.
Yeah.
Uh, so well, I mean, George C. Scott's no longer with us. And well, most of them are now. I mean, I think most of them have gone. I think
Yeah.
I think Roy Finn's still with us, but it
The
yeah,
Go ahead.
no, come on.
Um, Burgess Meredith,
No, he's no longer with us.
right? William Atherton, he's gone.
Yeah, there are.
Robert Clary, yeah, he's gone. And Renee just passed away.
Yeah, uh, just some awesome actors here, showing you how it's all done.
Hmm.
Um, anything else on Hindenburg, Susan?
Yeah, I just googled it, and yes, indeed, the Goodyear blimp is a manned airship, and
Oh,
there's like it's a limited number. There's two pilots and seven crew,
yeah,
so they do still have blimps all over the sporting events.
but they're not as big. I mean, the Hindenburg was the biggest, I think, of the fleet of airships. It was
Yeah,
the sort sort of the Titanic of the air.
and, and it was luxury.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, you had the cabins, sleeping areas, you had the restaurants, entertainment area, and a room for smoking because you weren't allowed to have naked flames or anything like that, or little metal things on the ends of walking sticks what could create a spark.
yeah,
So they had to go through all your baggage before you went on there.
right.
I mean, was it worth your upheaval every time you wanted to do a trip?
I know. It's a real good question. And
But
Charles Dunning, oh my gosh, I remember him from Dog Day Afternoon and the
yeah,
Muppet movie, and also he was the more inclusive candidate in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which is great. I just love that movie so much, and I just I enjoyed how beautiful it looked in the inside,
yeah,
and like the big triangle that they showed, that was awesome. I mean, it was it was a really cool set. It was like that set that they made for Star Trek Insurrection. It was like there are other times that they've done the same thing.
yeah.
They A lot of people have
I
stolen
mean,
the
for a movie,
imagery from this movie.
yeah. I mean, a movie from 1975, which was based in 1937. It's
Hmm.
it's timeless. It hasn't aged. Because some movies you think it's not standing up to the standards of time now, but this it was just amazing how it looked, and the airship as well in the air, and just amazing. Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay, shall we go to final say and score then?
Sure.
Over to
Um,
you.
all right. Well, I've never been on a balloon. That is balloon dirigible. Um, I've never been on any of those things, and I've always thought how wonderful it would be to try that someday. I do love trying out different transportation methods, and this one looked really cool. I just think that I would, you know, explain that it would be better if it was helium
Hmm.
or, hot air. That's also good. I'm cool with either of those. And so I will give this, I'll give this 10 hydrogen bags out of 10.
Nice.
Um, I did enjoy this. I watched a couple documentaries about there is another angle. There's a guy who shot film on a Super 8 camera or on a six, yeah, Super 8 camera that caught the other direction, and he saw where it started at the top of the tail and then the whole crash and how fast it was. Oh my gosh, it just went down just
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
the original film was slowed down for this, wasn't it? It was.
Oh yeah, there were lots and lots of like
Yeah,
time dilation things.
I suppose it would seem slow if it was happening. If you were there, it would seem slow. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm I'm glad you liked it, seeing as you've never seen it before, and I'm
Yep.
glad you watched a few documentaries afterwards just to.
Uh-huh.
So it's done its job.
Yeah.
You've gone and done your homework on it.
Yeah.
But me, I
Yeah,
enjoyed
I
it.
also like it did sort of intrigue me that Goodyear and the Zeppelin company that made the Hindenburg were like in competition and in coordination also
Yeah,
creating these.
I mean,
Interesting.
it was. Of course, this was before America joined the Second World War,
Hmm.
1937. So there were, as I say, the airships were still flying to America at that point. Um, and then, of course, then you was brought into the war.
Hmm.
Um, Me personally, it's one of my guilty pleasures. This movie.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm gonna give this. Yeah, I'm gonna give this 10 ticking time bombs out of 10.
Nice.
It's a good take on the theory, but there's
Yeah.
many theories. There's many theories out there what really happened, but I would most probably go for the more scientific approach that the been going through the skies with all these storm clouds and St. Elmo's fire running across the skin of the airship. Uh,
Yeah, St. Elmo's Fire, that was like the first that was in the first half of the movie though.
yeah,
Didn't they go through that and it was all those electric sparks all over the place?
yeah, but the charge could lay dormant, and it just one
Okay.
little spark from someone or other could have just set it off.
Well,
But yeah, it's as I said, it's 10 for me. I do love this, and I can't fault it. Um, there are better and bigger disaster movies out there, with bigger casts. But this one for me is one of my favourites. So that's our little review of the Hindenburg. If you guys have seen it, leave a message below on this video. Let us know what you thought of the movie. Let us know your theories of what really happened. And I'm not accepting aliens. Also, if you want to join us, in our group and on these videos, just leave a message on any of our videos, and I'll get round to reading your comments and see if I can get you on these. All we ask is that you're 18 and over, because some things we watch or listen to, or whatever, is 18 rated. So just 18 and over. Just to be on the safe side. And also, please, if you've got our YouTube channel and you've subscribed to it, please press the bell notification button and you'll get notified every time we put up a video, so you can sit down at your heart's content while we do our little bit of entertaining. So is that it, Susan?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, so right now we're gonna go chocks away, not chocks away, that's aeroplanes, isn't it? What would you
We're
what did you
gonna
say?
lower ropes
We're
and
gonna
unhook from
I'm
the
gonna
what's it
I'm
called?
gonna release I'm gonna release my ballast. Now that sounds a bit rude, but that's what they did there. They released the ballast, and we will see you on our next exciting review, which is in offering in a few more minutes when we record it. So I'll see you there, Susan.
Okay.
Bye for now.